What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy WoodWitThaStix. Hey, today I got a good one for y'all. 21 old Nintendo Switch games that are worth the money today. Man, y'all just sit back, relax, watch me work. Maybe y'all will pick up some of these games physically. Cause the way y'all be looking at GameStop, y'all need some help. And I got you. I'm here. Check this out. Alright, so if we talking about games that's worth the money, first I gotta go with Hollow Knight, man. Hollow Knight is so beautiful on Nintendo Switch and it runs great. It's my introductory game to Metroidvanias. It's the first one I ever played. It's the one that got me into Metroidvanias, and that's my favorite genre. The platforming is crisp, smooth. If you make a mistake in this game, it's because you made it. I mean, it's not the game's fault. You know, I'm not alone with this way of thinking. Pretty much everybody who loves Metroidvanias, they're gonna tell you Hollow Knight is probably number one, or if not number one, number two. I just recently played Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and it topped Hollow Knight for me. I really love that game. So, but this one right here, it'll forever be a legend and worth the money. Hollow Knight. It's gonna always be worth the money. Check it out. All right, next we're gonna go with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Man, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, man, came out on the Wii U long time ago. Came out on the Switch long time ago. But it's the most selling Nintendo Switch game ever. And they just keep selling. Cause kids are getting older enough. They're getting old enough to play Mario Kart, and they you know, this is the game they growing up with. But man, it's a great game. I usually play this game with my wife, and when I put her on it, she instantly fell in love with it. So, you know, women love this game, men love this game. You know, young people, old people, it don't matter. This game is for everybody. Everybody like competition, man. So whenever you in a competition, you know, atmosphere, like, you know, you at home with your cousins and kinfolk, man, play Mario Kart. Everybody gonna have fun. So, and when you can have fun anytime you pop it in, it's usually worth the buy. It's usually worth the price. And I feel Mario Kart 8 is always going to be worth the price. All right. Number 3, we're going to go with Zelda Breath of the Wild. Man, this right. Okay, let me start by saying this. There's a lot of Zelda games I've never played. I think the only one I actually played and beat in the past was Zelda Link's Awakening. And that's not on this list, but it's going to always be worth the money as well. But the Breath of the Wild is really my first Zelda game. Like, if we want to be honest, it's really the first one. And it's a dang good Zelda game, man. It's the first of its kind. It's truly open world. It runs beautifully on Switch, and you know, to this day, you know, you can pop this game in, and you know, hours can go by because there's so much stuff to do. Tears of the Kingdom, you know, there will be no Tears of the Kingdom without Breath of the Wild. So, man, if you've never played Breath of the Wild and you love open world games, man, you gotta pick this one up. Nintendo did their thing, man. Soundtrack and all. Everything about this game is great. So if you never played it, this one always gonna be worth the money. All right, number 4, we're gonna go with Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Man, this game right here, I had so much fun with it. It's a great superhero game. You can play as all the superheroes: X-Men, Spider-Man, the Hulk. You can play with all of those people, and it's kind of like a Diablo style game. But man, I had so much fun with it. It was published by Nintendo, and they made sure, you know, it was a good looking, great running game. I think they did their thing with this game. If you've never played it, like I said, it plays like Diablo, so you can control multiple characters. You know, like you can switch characters. I think it's about 4 or 5 characters you can choose from, and I think it's about 50 superheroes on this game. So it's a really good game. So I mean, I ain't got much to say about it. I just know that every time I play it, I spend hours on it. And you know, one day I feel like it's going to be worth more money later on down the line, because Nintendo published it, and I think they have the rights to it now. So yeah, y'all pick up Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order on Nintendo Switch. It's always going to be worth the money. All right, number 5, we're going to go with Dragon Quest XI, The Elusive Age. Echoes of an Elusive Age. My bad. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. It's probably one of the best, if not the best, JRPG on Nintendo Switch. They ported this game from the PS4 version, and man, it looks damn good on Switch. And I must say, I had a blast. It's not my first JRPG, but you know, it's probably the one I favor the most. You know, I love the people, the creators of Dragon Quest, man. They're the same creators of Dragon Ball Z, and as a kid, I used to love Dragon Ball Z. I would love a Dragon Quest that wasn't turn-based, but this one is turn-based, and but it doesn't lose a step from it. The turn-based combat in this game is amazing. It's a lot of fun, and I suggest you play it. If you've never played a JRPG, this is the one to play on Nintendo Switch, and that makes it always worth the money in my book. It's the go-to JRPG. So Dragon Quest XI is a must-buy. All right, number 6, we're gonna go with Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, I'm not a Pokemon fan. I used to be growing up with the Game Boy. I forgot what Pokemons I used to have. I think Pokemon Red was the game I used to play. But, you know, back then I used to watch the show and, you know, and play the game. And it was great, but I fell out of it. I fell out of Nintendo completely. But when I seen Pokemon Legends Arceus, man, when they released that game, I knew I had to get it. And I got it. And it's probably the best Pokemon game on Nintendo Switch. I'm going to stand by that. It is the best Pokemon game on Nintendo Switch. Open world. You know, you're doing a lot of catching Pokemon in this game, and the way you catch it, you manually catch it. Like you never caught Pokemon in a Pokemon game before. It's, you know, you get to sneak up on them, and you get to actually catch them. And sometimes you have to fight them to catch them. And I just think that formula right there, mixed with the open world, is a great thing for Pokemon. Yeah, so, and that, you know, to me, that makes it always worth the money when you can go back to it and experience, you know, this game, because there's no other game like this on Switch. Even the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, it ain't got nothing on Pokemon Legends Arceus. All right, number 7, we're gonna go with Fire Emblem Three Houses. Man, if you love JRPGs, if you love turn-based JRPGs, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the one to get. You can't love those games. You can't love JRPGs and not have Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's a game that I don't know much about, and I'm looking forward to diving deeper into it. But in the Switch community, I just know that it is well regarded, and it's on every JRPG list, especially turn-based JRPG lists on YouTube. So, yeah, I actually played Fire Emblem Engage a little more than Three Houses because I'm a combat guy, and Fire Emblem Engage, it delved deep into the combat, unlike Three Houses, which dives deeper into the houses that you choose from, I believe. So Fire Emblem Three Houses is always gonna be worth the money, just like every Fire Emblem in the past. So, it's made by Nintendo, which y'all know it's always gonna be worth the money. All right, number 8, we're gonna go with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Man, what can I say about this game? Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is my first experience with Xenoblade. And after that, I knew I had to have all of them. It's probably the best story ever on Nintendo Switch. And I'm not lying. It's the best story, the best heartfelt. Man, this is a heartfelt story. Like, it blew me away. It's probably one of my favorite JRPGs on Nintendo Switch. I love the combat, which is easy. To me it's easy. Maybe to other people it's hard, but the combat, in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is the best in the series, man. And man, it's an adventure. When I say adventure, I mean adventure, bro. It's long. I put in a lot of hours on this game, and I felt accomplished when I beat it. And man, that's what it's all about. It's always gonna be worth the money to me, because for one, everything about this game is easier to play. If you've never played a Xenoblade game, start with 3. You don't need none of the other stories to catch you up. It's his own game completely. So, and get the DLC, man. The DLC is good too. Man, that's a 10 out of 10 to me. That's just to me. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, always gonna be worth the money. All right, number 9, we're gonna go with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. Man, what can I say about this game that hasn't already been said? To me, on the Switch, it's right next to Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. It's one of the, man, it competes with Zelda because it's so deep. And everything about it is deep. It's an adventure, man, and you can put in 100 hours on this easily. And it's a world that you can live in. And man, if y'all haven't played The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, y'all better go get that, man, because it's a banger, bro. It's a banger. And on Nintendo Switch, it may not look as good. The graphics ain't that good on Switch, but it's the complete game, and I beat it on Nintendo Switch. And to have this game portable, man, I don't think y'all know what that means. And I'm talking about the whole game, all the DLC, and that's all portable. Man, we living in the future, and we don't realize it, because I would have never thought this game would have made it on Switch. So, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, y'all already know about it. And it's worth the money. It's worth the money. You gonna have fun with it. All right, number 10, we're gonna go with Dying Light Platinum Edition. The best zombie game on Nintendo Switch. I just want y'all to know, it's the best zombie game on Nintendo Switch. If you love zombies, if you've been watching Walking Dead or stuff like that, man, go pick up Dying Light, and you'll have a blast with that game, man. It's the GOAT of zombie games, and it looks pretty much like every version. Nintendo Switch's version looks pretty much like every version, and like you really can't tell the difference. This game don't get talked about enough about how beautiful it is, and how good of a port job they did. Man, every time I want to relieve some stress and want to do great parkour, man, I go to Dying Light. I play this game pretty much every week just because it's fun, man. Man, I love hopping off of zombies, man, and feeling invincible, man. I love games where when you master the controls, you feel invincible. And that's just a sign of great controls. And everybody pretty much love this game, but if you haven't played Dying Light, I need you to experience that. Real talk, ASAP. Experience it, because man, it's a great game, and that makes it always worth the money to me. I'll pay for it because I have fun with it. All right, number 11, we're gonna go with Immortal Phoenix Rising. This game was made by Ubisoft. Everybody want to say it's a Breath of the Wild clone, and it very well may be, but it's its own game, and it holds weight. It holds some real weight. It's one of the best open world Ubisoft games I ever played. I feel like if they was going for the Breath of the Wild type of game, they had to be creative, and I feel like this game was very creative. And it's probably one of the best experiences I had on Nintendo Switch. Open world, handheld. You really can't beat that, and it looks beautiful. They downgraded some of the graphics. It's a little blurry, but it's beautiful on Switch, especially the OLED. The colors are just outrageous on this game. But everybody can play this game as well. It's pretty easy. It's pretty fun, and I love the combat, and it's funny as well. So the writing is great, and the voice acting is great. So if y'all haven't played Immortal Phoenix Rising, it's the Zelda clone that's always gonna be worth the money, because man, it hit it right on the head with Zelda. You can put Zelda in its place, and it'll pretty much be the same game, if we're being honest. But yeah, pick up Immortal Phoenix Rising. All right, number 12, we're gonna go with NieR Automata. Man, NieR Automata is probably the best action RPG on Nintendo Switch. I ain't lying to you. I love this game. I loved it on the PS4, and I love it on Nintendo Switch even more, because man, it's really no difference from the PS4 version and the Nintendo Switch version, except 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second. But man, I'm just thinking in my head, the combat in this game, and man, 2B, I'm telling you, she is a beast. And you feel invincible in this game. You really can do some stuff in this game, and the way she handled that sword, man, it's second to none. Hey, real talk. This game is also it's an experience, and I love that the gameplay changes throughout the game. It turns into a shooter. It turns into it just turns into different type of games, and it's one of the only games that can pull that off and actually do a great job with it. And man, if you haven't played NieR Automata, however one you say it, if you haven't played it, man, it's a must play. It's a 10 out of 10 to me. So if it's a 10 out of 10 to me, then I'm gonna say it's worth the price. Real talk. All right, number 13, we're gonna go with Assassin's Creed, the Rebel Collection. And also, any Assassin's Creed you can find on Nintendo Switch is pretty much a good Assassin's Creed. I had no problems out of any Assassin's Creed on Nintendo Switch. And if you didn't know, Assassin's Creed is my favorite. My favorite games or series on Nintendo Switch, on any console. I got all Assassin's Creed, every console, because man, it's an RPG, it's an adventure game, it's anything you want it to be, and I love the combat. But Rebel Collection with Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, man, that's my favorite Assassin's Creed game. It's a pirate story. It's one of the best stories Ubisoft ever pulled to me. I just love the acting, in that game, and I love the sailing. If you wanna sail and actually do ship battling, this game, man, is famous for it. And it's the game that started the whole Sea of Thieves idea. And man, and for that, it's gonna always be worth the money. Real talk. Because I feel like it changed the way Ubisoft looked at Assassin's Creed. And that's why you have Valhalla and all of this other stuff that they coming out with, is because of this game. But yeah, so Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag makes this always worth the money. Real talk. All right, number 14, we got Bioshock, the collection. Man, Bioshock. Man, that's okay. Let me tell you a little story about Bioshock. Bioshock, I came in contact with it when about 2012. I was in college, and I had a roommate. He was playing Bioshock, and I knew about Bioshock, but it's a game that I always skipped over. For some odd reason, I didn't like scientific games like that, So when it came to Nintendo Switch, that was my first time playing the Bioshock series. And when I say it's beautiful on Switch, it's a great first-person shooter. All three games they run amazing. Like it's crazy that they don't get enough credit for how these games look and run on Switch. Bioshock, let's see, which one was it? I'm sorry, y'all. Bioshock Infinite is my favorite one. That game right there looks amazing on Switch. If y'all ain't picked these games up and y'all looking for first-person shooters with a great story, man, Bioshock is your game. And if it's your game, that means it's always gonna be worth the money. So number 15, we're gonna go with Skyrim. Man, Skyrim is a game that I keep chasing. I keep putting it down and I keep picking it back up for hours. Then I put it down, then I pick it back up for even more hours, but I just can't seem to get far in it. Everybody know about Skyrim. Everybody know that it's a well-regarded game in the Switch community, in any community, to be honest. anywhere this game is, you know, the fans are. And, you know, I don't have much to say about it. I haven't had really good experiences with it, but I can see the quality in it. And it's a great port on Nintendo Switch. And it runs great. So, you know, why not pick it up? If you're a Skyrim fan and you love huge adventures, RPGs, like, this game is huge. I couldn't even fathom how big it was. I mean, to this day, it's big. And it's a lot of things to do in it. So, you know, to me, it's always going to be worth the money when everybody love it. You know what I mean? If everybody love it, then that means it's usually going to stay the price it is. All right. Number 16, we're going to go with LA Noire. LA Noire is probably my favorite Rockstar game. Everything about this game I love. You know, it's the #1 police simulator out right now. Man, you feel like you are the police. You know, you feel like you are an investigator. You know, everything about this game, from the facial expressions, the graphics, the open world, you know, everything about it. The side missions, man, there's bank robberies in this game. And you gotta stop, the bank robber. And, you know, you'll be driving down the road and you'll get a dispatch saying, hey, it's a bank robbery here. And you set your GPS to the bank robbery and you pull up and, you know, he got somebody hostage or something, man. That's just a side mission. But the story in this game is amazing as well. And if you didn't know, fun fact, a lot of the characters from the TV show Mad Men is in this game. I never really heard many people mention that. But it's a couple people from Mad Men that are main characters in this game, including the main character, which is Cole Phelps. He plays in Mad Men, and I think his name is Ken Cosgrove, I believe. So yeah, if you've never played LA Noire, I suggest you play it. Because, man, it's no other game like it. Real talk. And usually when there's no other game like that game, it's always worth the money. All right, so these last 4 games, I loved them so much, I had to get the collector's edition. So number 17, we're going to go with Astaro Chain. This is the Japanese version, I believe. Paid about $100 for it. But Astaro Chain is one of the best, if not the best, action RPG on Nintendo Switch, man. You play as the police on this game as well, but you fighting all kind of demons and stuff like that, man. It's by Platinum Games. And if you don't know Platinum Games, they usually have great combat. And man, you can control multiple demons. They're called legions in this game. And man, you know, it's really mind-blowing. It really is. And the story is awesome. I was hooked to the end. And I put in about 40 hours on this, I believe. You know, it was pretty long. So, if you ain't played Astaro Chain, man, you'll be, you know, all those who have played it, they're just like me. They're telling y'all that, hey, y'all got to play this. You know what I mean? And usually when you have to tell somebody to play a game, it's usually worth the money. You feel me? All right, number 18 is Bayonetta 3. Really, all of Bayonetta. Man, Bayonetta is a franchise I love, man. Bayonetta, you can't get no better combat than that. This game was also made by Platinum Games, I believe, which is, you know, ultimately Nintendo. But all of the Bayonetta games, you know, they're old, except Bayonetta 3. But Bayonetta 1 and 2, they should be on this list as well. And I'm grouping them all together, but the Bayonetta games are must play. If you love Devil May Cry, if you love God of War, to me it reminds me of God of War. It's like I consider it the God of War of Nintendo Switch. So Bayonetta, God of War, usually worth the money, man. Pick this one up. You won't regret it. You really won't. It ain't too hard. It ain't too hard. But man, when you figure it out, you figure out the controls, man, you realize that Bayonetta is, hey, she cold, man. That girl right there, cold. Real talk. All right, number 19, I have the collector's edition to Damon X Mecha. If you see, you open it. It has an action figure in there. But Damon X Mecha is a game made by Nintendo. It's a mech game. And it's getting up there in price as well, but it's a well-made mech game. You're fighting mechs, it's kind of like open area, but you get to customize your own mech, customize a lot of parts, and the story is pretty much non-existent, but the combat and everything is really good in this game, and it's probably the best mech game that we got on Nintendo Switch. And it's made by Nintendo, so the quality is there. You feel me? It looks beautiful. It really does. And I think a lot of people slept on this game when it came out, and it has its own following. And I put this game down for a while, but I ended up picking it back up, and it was the best thing ever. Like, man, I had a lot of fun with it. So if you haven't heard of or played Damon X Mecha, man, go pick it up. It's worth the price. I promise you, it's worth it. So number 20, I have the collector's edition to Fire Emblem Engage. Man, if you love turn-based RPGs, JRPGs, Fire Emblem Engage is your turn-based JRPG. If you love those games for combat, I suggest you get Engage over Three Houses. To me, Engage is a way better looking game. The story may not be better, but man, as far as the graphics, Fire Emblem Engage may be the best, one of the best games, Switch games with great graphics. And it's made by Nintendo, so it's got the seal of quality. And I haven't finished it, so I can't tell y'all that the story is there, but so far so good, and I'm enjoying it. And when I enjoy things, I can say that it's worth the money. All right, so last but not least, number 21, we got Metroid Dread, the collector's edition. Man, Metroid Dread is a Metroid game that I fell in love with. Man, I can't choose what's the best Metroidvania. It's 3 Metroidvanias that I'm like, man, I can't choose which one the best. So it's Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Metroid Dread, and Hollow Knight. Those 3 should be in every Metroidvania fan collection. Those 3 games right there are always going to be worth the money, man. Those games are amazing. And Metroid Dread, man, when Nintendo released that, man. All right, now let me tell y'all this. This is my first Metroid game. Let that soak in, right? I'm sure I'm not alone, but Metroid Dread was my first Metroid game, and it blew me away. It wasn't my first Metroidvania, because Hollow Knight was my first Metroidvania. But my first Metroid game was Metroid Dread. And boy, man, Nintendo did their thing. I was all in the story. I was all in the world, man. Bruh, you know the dread of the game, which is the Emmys, man. Those robots, the Emmys, man, they need an Emmy, because like I was scared of them, and man, I believed it. Like, man, I know I'm saying man a lot, but I'm just reminiscing on the gameplay. I can't really, express how good of a game this is. If you like 2D platforming, if you like, good combat inside of a 2D platformer, get Metroid Dread, man. You can't go wrong. And this is number one on my list of any Nintendo games. Metroid Dread is a must buy. It's a shame it only sold 3 million copies, because this game right here is gonna go down in history as the best 2D Metroid game. Watch what I tell you. And if it's gonna go down as the best 2D Metroid game, guess what? It's always gonna be worth the money. But man, I appreciate y'all for clicking this video, man. This was 21 old Nintendo Switch games that are worth the money today. And if y'all agree with me, man, let me know in the comments. If y'all got more games to add, let me know in the comments, man, because I'm buying games and I'm seeing that, the more games I buy, the more I want to talk about them. So, man, if y'all rock with these type of videos, make sure y'all hit that like button. And, y'all like what I like, which are games. And if you like what I like, why not subscribe, man? Go ahead, subscribe. I ain't gonna hurt you. Real talk, man. I'm friendly. And I like to have good conversations about video games. And, so meet me down there in the comment box. And, hey, let's game together, man. Real talk.